Hello everybody, this is Andrew Wayne, and I just had a really good game in my Tier VIII Fubuki. I thought I'd share it with you, especially since the Warships is about to kind of restructure their ships, and the Tier VIII Fubuki is going to get dropped down to Tier 6, I believe. And I just recently got this ship, but I'm actually having a lot of fun in it. The Fubuki is a ninja. It is a ghost ship. It is a torpedo boat. Now, it is not a gunboat. It does have 3 guns, and they're fairly accurate and they're fairly strong. But against, say, an American destroyer of the same tier, you do not want to get into a gunfight. They'll pretty much just take your lunch. This is a torpedo boat. If you look at the map, as we head into the sea cap, I want to try to catch sea. If you look at the map, you'll see 3 rings around my ship. The furthest outer ring, the solid white line, is the torpedo and gun range on this boat. Now, my torpedoes and my guns are both 10 kilometers. The middle dotted ring is the ship detection, so that's how close the ships have to be before they detect me, which is 6.1 kilometers. So I have 3.9, or just say I have 4 kilometers to play with in there that I can fire at these ships, but they can't see me. Now, if I fire my guns, that second ring will actually expand out to 10 kilometers and the ships can see me. That's why you don't want to fire your guns on this ship. You just want to fire your torpedoes. The inner dotted ring is my detection range for aircraft. So if there's airplanes flying over, if they get within that inner dotted ring, they can see me. I just took a quick look behind me to see who was following me into sea. And we're pulling into sea. I'm going to slow down and just wait it out. Now, I don't know how much they're going to nerf this, if any, what they're going to change to it. I do know they're going to drop it down a tier and then introduce a new ship as a Tier 8, but I do not know what changes they're going to make to the Fubuki when it drops down to the tier. And like I said, I want to say it's Tier 6. I could be wrong, but I believe it's going to be a Tier 6 ship. We got the cap. I'm starting to speed back up. I'm taking a look over it. I see 4 battleships and a cruiser. They're all headed towards my 10-kilometer detection range. They're outside that yet, so they can't see me, but I can see them. I know they're there. So I take a target on the first battleship, and I can watch in the torpedo indicator, which is the gray cone that's pointing out the front of my ship, and I can see it's not moving. That tells me he's going straight. So once I get to about to the 10-kilometer range, I start to line up my torpedoes. Now, unfortunately, the torpedo firing arc on the Fubuki is not very wide. You have to be darn near broadside to them. But I set down 3 sets. I set down 1 straight on the line, 1 like halfway off the right side, and 1 just off the left side. And what that does is that gives me a little bit of a cushion, so if I start to maneuver left or right, I still got a chance of hitting them. And as they're getting close to my detection range, I turn away to keep them outside that dotted line and just watching my torps to see who I'm going to hit, if any. Go ahead and zoom in on the torps just to kind of see where we're going. And you're seeing he's going to take 3 broadside. And he actually takes 2 more, but the first one kills him, so the second one doesn't count. So he took 4 broadside to be destroyed, and that gave me 42,980 damage on the ship so far. Now, got about 26 seconds left on the reload. I'm trying to turn to get lined back up. However, this thing doesn't turn on a dime, and I hit the beach. It would have been nice if I could have stopped to enjoy the beach, but couldn't do it. We're in a battle. So I back up, try to get off the beach, and I really couldn't have fired anything anyway because the torps are still reloading and I'm at a bad angle. Like I said, you almost have to be broadside to fire at anything with your torpedoes with this ship. That's one of the things I really don't like about that is the firing arc of your torpedoes. But I'm keeping him locked in, and I'm going to try to swing through the islands. I know that they're going to go through the islands just to the south of me, so I'm going to try to go through these islands, right in between these islands right here. I'm going to keep in between the 6 and 10-kilometer range and see what happens when we come out the other side of that island. If I have an opportunity, we'll take a shot at it. Getting ready to come out, having to swing to the left to make sure my torpedo arc is lined up. Waiting to clear the islands. Put one down on the line and one set down behind the line. And I'm watching him and I noticed he's going straight, so nothing's changing. So I decided to take a shot of opportunity with the ship behind me, lock on, line up, and shoot just to see what happens. And then spin off to the left to try to keep them out of my detection range. They're like right on the edge of that 6 kilometers, and I want to make sure that they don't see me. Zoom in on the torpedoes. And it looks like he's going to take, well, of the 6 on the spread, he's going to take all 5 broadside, but he's going to get destroyed before the 5 hit him. And then the second ship is going to take all 3 that I sent him, but it's not enough to kill him, but it is enough to take him down 3/4. So now we're at 128,892 in damage. I've sunk 2, I've hit 3, put 10 torpedoes on, I got 10 floods, and trying to get lined up to finish and take this guy out. Excuse me. So looking, he's not really making any changes. I mean, he knows I'm there, and he just took 3 torpedoes from me, but he's not really making any changes. So I go ahead, line up, wait for my torpedoes to reload, take a shot at him, take another shot at him, and all of a sudden I notice that the ship is starting to turn out to the right. So I'm waiting, I'm trying to decide, go ahead and send a 3rd spread, or do I shoot the 2nd ship behind him? You see I've got it targeted, but then somebody kills him, so I said, you know what, let's go ahead and take a shot at this 2nd ship, or let's take my 3rd shot at this 1st ship. He had started to turn out to the right, but I noticed that he's turning back to the left. So my 1st spread are going to miss him, but it's kind of an odd illusion. It looks like he's going to get hit, but he doesn't. The torpedoes just go right past him. So I've got my 3rd set coming up on him, but as you can see, he's still turning in, and they're just going to miss him. Unfortunately, they were close, but close doesn't count. So I've got 31 seconds left on the reload. I'm trying to get lined back up and keeping him out of my detection range so he doesn't know where I'm at. He definitely knows I'm there. He just doesn't know where I'm at. And while this is happening, he's taking shots from a couple of ships that are out there with me. Before I can get lined up, though, he gets destroyed. So I go ahead and decide to do a 180. I'm turning around. I do see a ship down there around the 10 column about the DE line. And I'm going to see what happens. I want to go out that way and see if I can get a shot on him. You can see him in the distance there. There's a number of aircraft in the air. The red ones are the enemies. The green one are friendly. I did make a mistake. I didn't realize that my anti-aircraft was turned off. Turned on. I usually keep it turned off because if the anti-aircraft fires, then my detection range increases. And I didn't realize I had it turned on, so when I get within range of the aircraft, it starts firing. Now, I usually keep it turned off, 1 for the detection range, but 2, it's just a horrible shot. DDs are horrible at shooting down aircraft. You'll see I just got detected because my anti-aircraft is firing, but I'm not killing anything. I decided to go ahead and target the anti-aircraft, or the aircraft, just to see if I get lucky and take one out. Nothing happens, and then they fly outside my firing range, so I think they circle back. It takes a couple more shots at them, but I miss them every time. Trying to get lined back up on this destroyer, this battleship, but I'd have to fire through the island to get to him, and obviously that's not going to happen. The island's going to be in the way, so I decided to cut back through the chain here and see if I can get lined up on him again. Now he knows I'm out there, I'm sure, because I was detected by the planes, but he didn't take any shots at me, and I'm undetected now, so he doesn't know where I'm at. He should know that I'm out there somewhere. But I'm watching him through the firing solution there, and you'll notice it is moving just a little bit, but not much. So I'm waiting for the solution to clear the island. I know he's going to come out behind that second to the last island there. So I'm waiting for it to clear the point of that last island. When it does, line up, sends him away. But I wait a moment to see where it's going, and I see the targeting solution is backing up. That tells me he's turning. but I'm keeping it lined up on the point of that island. I set down a second set, and then it starts to go back to the right, so that tells me he's turning again. So I line up again and send the third set away just a little bit ahead of that line, so as he keeps turning, if that line's moving forward, they should line up. I spin out. I've got plenty of room. I'm not worried about getting detected, but I go ahead and spin out anyway. Start watching the torps just to see what happens. I cycle through the different torpedoes just to get lined up to see which one may have the best chance of getting him, and I think it's going to be those two. So I hang out on those two, watch him as he comes across that island. He's got to know those torps are there now, but it's too late for him to do anything. Those torps are moving way too fast. And he takes two and dies. We're at 152,580 for damage done. We've put 12 torpedoes on, 12 floods, sunk 3. We've done an assisted capture on the sea cap. And I can see my teammates. There's only 3 ships left on the enemy, and they're harassing the enemy. They're capturing B. We've already captured A and C, so I decided to go over there and see if I can assist on the capture for C and just get a few extra points off of it. Now the enemy is firing at my teammates that are in B, so they keep resetting the cap. And if you'll notice, they both move out of cap pursuing the enemy. Luckily, I stayed in cap. They actually have the majority of the points, but when they leave, it resets, and then I'm the only one in the B cap capturing B. My detection range, however, is so small that nobody can see me. The enemy is going to know I'm there because B cap is getting captured, but they can't see anything. So they're going to have to know they know there's somebody in there, they just don't know who and they don't know where. But if you look at the mini map, you'll see both ships are leaving the B cap right now. We've already got 912 points, first to 1,000 wins. I'm trying to capture B just to get that last little bit of XP before the 1,000 points hits. They can't see me, they know I'm there, but it's just an easy capture. And if you'll notice, looking at the bottom left-hand corner of the my ship icon, I haven't lost any health at all. I'm still at full health. This was a textbook game example of a torpedo boat. I kept him outside my detection range, but within my torpedo range, and we won. Got the capture, it put us up to 998, and then it rolled over to 1,000. Game over. So we did it just under 13 minutes. For those of you who want to see, I had 247,000 coin, 3,100 XP, 640 free XP, 152,000 damage with 12 torpedoes, 1 incapacitation, 3 sunk, 12 flooding, 1 capture, and 1 assisted capture. If you're interested in the team score, I was first on team, 2,056 XP, sunk 3. The detailed report, if you're interested, there's the breakdown of the damage, 42,000, 41,000, 23,000, 44,000, all due to torpedoes with about 1,200 due to flooding. And if you're interested in credits, there's credits earned, credits spent.